character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Pacifist
sure.
dwarf party.
Sure you will. Sure. Run away from danger because that's so
We can
I have a
certainly
gun.
try.
likely.
Tech. I have a gun. Tech. There's an image. There's an image in the chat.
I saw that. So people shouldn't fight with a knife against you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. No knives.
Well, someone will bring a knife to a gunfight. A
Yes.
bow gun knife.
Or challenge among to fist fight.
Oh,
What about a knife gun?
I could
We are
put a
not
bayonet on
entitled
this
to
one.
fantasy.
Can I craft a bayonet onto it?
Well, technically, yes.
So, Oscar, like, just asking a few questions. Like, is this game like have you planned it so that it's like a regular, recurring thing, and like it's like a campaign thing, or is it like a let's play it once and keep moving?
Well, you can play it either way. For example, like the thing we did last time, the last mission we did, and now I'm actually going to try something else different.
Okay.
So not just one, not traveling from point A to B to C to D to E. So it's less travel, more crunch.
I thought
Of the bone.
we are traveling from A to C to E to B to D.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, because-
picked the perfect time to have a pacifist party.
Because nobody can read a map.
I can.
Oh yeah.
Now, I can't read them.
I should be able to read a map.
Yeah. I'm playing a guide, so I've got a detailed.
Well, you make maps. That doesn't mean you
I
can.
make.
Well, he makes map, and he actually starts with a detailed map of the area.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the area, you are currently stationed in Stonereach, which, if you remember correctly, was the destination of your last mission. However, you are all playing different characters, so.
And I wasn't even there.
Yeah, it's like you weren't even there. But thanks to the fine dwarves who created a new road between Stonereach and Cramp Hall, prosperity has increased slightly. So a trade route between those two cities has been improved significantly. And however, there is a matter at hand that needs to be dealt with, and therefore Guildmaster Thoki has requested your presence at the guild house of the Expeditioners Guild, or Expeditions Guild. First, I would like to thank you for swiftly answering the call. Now, there is a small matter, and I know that you haven't been staying in the city for that long, but there is a matter that we need to deal with. Now there's a small outpost a little further downwards from the city, and recently we stopped hearing anything from that outpost. No new messages, and we decided to send a small group to investigate. However, that was 3 days ago, and we haven't heard back from them. It's only about a few hours of travel from Stonereach down to the outpost. So naturally, we are a little worried of what might have happened, and we are calling on you to assist. We need you to go down to the outpost, find out what happened. If you can, save the dwarves that are there if needed, and then return.
What was the purpose of this post?
Just a regular outpost in case of anything getting close to the city that wasn't supposed to.
Like,
Would we know what this thing is, like culturally speaking? Like, would everyone know what we're looking out for?
You can make a mind roll, and if you have any skill that you would like to apply, you can see if you have any.
Awareness?
Nope.
I'll just make a regular mind roll. I think I have any other. So that's 3 die. That's just one hit, one strike.
Well, there's the normal, all sort of creatures that live in the underground. Goblins you've heard of, and you've probably met at several times. Trolls, and then there are weirder and more menacing creatures living in the lower levels of the underground. On occasion, those creatures will somehow go upwards to the upper levels, but it's rare. Nothing in particular that you can think of. It's just normal, either probably goblins or trolls that have any specifically menacing intent towards dwarves.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that.
how many were stationed at the outpost?
There were 4 regularly stationed there. There have been, on occasion, we send messengers down there, and they stay for a few days and then return. There was a messenger who never returned, so at least 5. And on occasion, possibly from another city, other dwarves may have been traveling through.
And how long does the travel to the outpost take?
Less than a day.
All right.
And you heard from the outpost last when exactly?
We heard from it about 5 days ago.
What was the message?
Just regular new mail, mostly.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, the message wasn't delivered directly to the Expeditions Guild. It was delivered to the King's Hall. However, we are tasked with finding out if it is dangerous and in need of military action.
So if you're saying correctly, we need to go there, observe, see if we
Find-
can rescue someone, and then come back.
Just go there, find out if there's anything dangerous, rescue anyone you can or in need, and return.
That sounds doable.
Okay, so you can speak with Quartermaster Inya about your gear and equipment.
And should we make the share roll too?
Yeah,
The roll
share.
for starting shares.
Yeah. A roll for Hanoi. Do you know how this works?
We rolled 1 or 2
1d6.
plus the wealth of the city.
The prosperity rating of the city currently
Right.
is 3.
Okay.
So you roll d6 and add 3. And that is your starting shares.
Right.
Could be better.
A6.
Total or
No, like that's 9 total.
that's very good.
5 total.
8 total for me.
Ouch. That's really
Yeah,
good.
ouch.
That's
I
really
mean,
good.
it could have been worse. It could have been a 1 that I
Yeah.
rolled.
But still, it's
So
very
how
good.
much do you have? Sorry, I don't know what Andreas's character. We need to do a character run.
Oh yeah. I mean, what are your names? Starting with Andreas.
I'm Virtual Bone Mender, a very young and adventurous doctor from an Aldrich family with a strong medical tradition.
Right? And Shiraz?
My name is Edgar Ed Bright with 2 D's. I have been a guide for a long, long time. The last party I was with met with, let's just say, bad circumstances. I was the only one who survived, and as a result, I am extremely neurotic. I also have a bowgun that shoots stone spikes that I affectionately called Bertha.
And Hanno.
I play Harleen Thundershield, a not that old but prematurely gray-haired and bearded dwarf. Not as stout as most. Winting a bit, probably needs glasses.
And all dwarfs bearded.
Prematurely gray-bearded.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So, is it what's Andre? Sorry, what's your dog's name? Mitchell or
Virtual Bone Mender.
Mitchell? Do you need any more share? Do you need? I have extra.
I mean, I would need some shares to increase my healing success. So
I can
maybe
offer you 2.
I would gladly take those.
Best to be careful on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, traveling to the outpost is fairly straightforward.
Yeah, but hold on. Since we will be traveling together, here, take these, and I give each one of them a rune.
Oh,
A rune?
Of
Ooh.
a rune. Yes, a rune of alliance.
Oh, nice.
oh.
Ooh.
What does that do?
Oh, that's very
Um,
handy, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
Any
about you
ally
can
being
explain?
assisted by when you hold this rune, any ally being assisted by another ally, so we're all allies now,
Mhm.
benefits from 2
Yay.
bonus dice instead of 1.
Oh, that's really good.
Also, any spell which I direct at an ally is rolled against a mark of 2 instead of 3. Well, maybe that will be useful. Yeah, that's about it.
So holding the rune doesn't expend it, or
It's
Oh, that's amazing.
it's the only rune in the system as of yet that is not destroyed once used.
Yeah.
can
Okay.
I roll a
But
crafting roll to try
take
and make it
them.
into necklaces or for amulets for everybody?
Wouldn't that destroy the room?
No, you cannot.
So we have to hold them
You
Okay.
No, you need to carry them
like on person.
on
Okay.
person.
Okay. Yeah, don't lose them, please. They are expensive.
Okay. So according to my skills as a guide, I have this skill that lets me roll survival for map finding and all that stuff. I forget what it's called.
Let's see.
Know the way.
I also would like to go to the King's Hall to inquire about the last letters of the outpost before we
Yes.
start.
Okay. No,
I
wait.
wouldn't like to go in
Oh, yeah.
there blindly.
So apparently my first mind roll for the game with map finding lets me note down how many strikes I have and reduce traveling time.
Yeah.
Does that help here, or like because
Not-
it's only a day's travel, so can't
Not-
reduce it further than 0.
Yeah, it's less than a day, so you would
Yeah.
shorten it by a day, so you would arrive like
Instantly teleport me. It's like,
Don't do fast travel in games. Experience the world.
hey guys, I know this handy dandy slide that will get us there in 5 minutes.
you actually. Okay, I mean, sure, you don't have to roll, but
Mhm.
you can say that. Oh, hey, there is this road that leads to the outpost, but I actually know a shortcut that will take
Okay.
us much less time. So you would. So it takes normally takes less than a day travel to get to the outpost, but you can shorten it to half that time. So it only
So do
takes
you
up
want me to just roll up a map thing just
Um,
to see if I succeed or not?
roll me, let's say 2d3.
2d3.
Yeah. So
Hold on a second.
do you have a d3?
I have a d6. I'll just half the score.
Yeah.
2d3, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 3 and a 2.
3 and a 2. So it takes you. Okay. It takes 5 hours to get there.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would probably take you around 8 to 10 hours.
So before we do that, like, I mean, that I'm like marking it out on my map. But Mitchell wanted to go to the King's Hall.
You're just plotting the way. You've probably been this road before,
Mhm.
so you know it's about 5 hours. Or you could take the long way, the scenic route, and it takes about 8 hours. That's fun. Okay, so the King's Hall. Now the king can't really tell if the King's Hall is a large building. Unlike what you might imagine the city is like, it is not a big open space with buildings at the bottom. It is a web of tunnels and rooms that act as houses, and in one of those in one corner of the city is a large the King's Hall carved out into tunnels and out from tunnels and so on. You finding a room with a view is pretty much impossible here.
What is a? We
I
don't know what view is.
Guess the king has a room with a window.
Well,
And a
yeah,
view.
sure. It's a window
It's
into
a cave.
another room.
Well, he likes to watch.
Yeah. Or so the story goes. Outside the gate to the King's Hall are stationed 2 guards. Dwarven, of course, wearing the armor of the city watch. And they, as expeditioners, you are wearing clothing appropriate for that guild, and they greet you appropriately. Expeditioners do get some respect in Dwarven societies. However, they are not technically military or city officials. So
Okay.
they have no obligation in letting you enter the King's Hall.
So I am, as usual, not very talkative, so I'm just like gonna go. I entrust this to you, brothers.
Yes.
Greetings, expeditioners. How may we assist?
We were tasked by the guildmaster to inquire the silence of the outpost in the west, south. It is downwards, and we heard that there were some letters sent with when we had last contact with the outpost, and we would like to take a look at those letters to see if we find any hints or clues what have happened there to maybe aid our success in our journey.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid I can't let you enter the King's Hall and just read personal letters to the king. You understand this, correct?
Normally,
However,
I would understand this. Yes.
I will call on the steward and ask that he will see if he will indulge in giving any information over to you.
I'm just mumbling city guards making our jobs difficult. It's like,
he knocks on the gate and a small opening opens, and another dwarf is on the side, and the guard that you spoke with asks that he fetches the steward. And the latch is shut again, and the guard turns to you and, well, you are welcome to wait.
I will wait.
in this waiting period, how is ammunition done? Like, what do I have to do? Do I have to expend certain shares to make a number of ammunition?
No. So how this works is that how I'm going to run this is that you have ammunition, and you can use however much you need. I think you remember that if you fail a roll, you don't necessarily fail an action, and this applies to attacks as well.
Okay.
So if you fail one of your attack rolls, you can up to succeed, but instead that was your last ammunition.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
So then you can either so then later you can use,
Can I craft some?
you can craft some more.
Okay.
In your case, you're using rock bolts, or what are you using as ammunition? Well, that's nice.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think so. Fun.
I think he said that he is using stone stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Rock sticks.
just like kind of quartz, sharpened
Yep.
quartz.
So you should be able to just carve some, but
Okay.
but it will cost you a share
Okay.
to
That's
craft more ammunition.
Mm.
So that's
I will,
how I'm
like,
going to
I
run
don't
this.
know if this would be a suggestion for gameplay wise, but I think if it would be nice to have a number, because like whenever you have ranged ammunition, it's always good to have like a shot count in your head on a way. So maybe a share equals 10 bolts or something. I mean, 10 bolts would last a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, sure. The reason why I'm doing it this way, however, is because I don't want to do too much of
Management.
management. Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. So yeah, or we could always do it just like maybe 6 bolts, so that you do have a die and you can just turn it 6, 5,
Yeah.
4, 3,
And if
2,
like,
1.
and if I fail, like that means I've broken all these like really delicate quartz pieces that were supposed to be shot.
Yeah. But I'm going to do it the way I said earlier, just
That sounds good.
for this game at least, and see how it goes. If it
Okay.
doesn't work out nicely, I'm going to fix it.
Fair
So several minutes pass. What should be about 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 30 minutes. Eventually you get tired with the healers mumbling and humming.
I'm like obsessively cleaning the bowgun, and just like it's getting more and more like kind of aggressive.
It's very like I have no idea what dwarves do for small talk. You can't really talk about the weather.
Can we drink?
We can talk about ale.
Well, that's well, it's probably what everyone talks about. So how's
We'll just start
it's
talking
either
about like
talking
how
about-
bad the ale is here compared to the other
Oh
city.
yeah, you can. Yeah, the guards agree. It's pretty terrible. They say that it's probably because the water has been contaminated.
Oh,
Possibly.
Con-
I mean, it would make sense.
contaminated by what? You think?
I don't know. Fungus.
Ooh. I know how to make a good schnapps out of some fungus.
Like right now?
It takes a few months.
I hope we will not
I can
wait
do it.
that long.
I mean, you could. No, we don't. No, this time we don't blast in the door. No.
So I asked the city watch guys if they knew anybody who was at the out, if they get switched up.
No, not really. I think there was this guy, Kevin. A real douchebag.
You mean one leg Kevin?
No, 2-legged Kevin.
Two leg Kevin. Oh right, I know one leg Kevin.
Yeah, not to be confused with a 3-legged Kevin.
He's
Oh,
we don't talk about him.
Shortly after this discussion begins, the door opens, and a dwarf wearing fine clothing, jewelry, and his beard has been braided and into 3 braids or something like that, and has
A sign of royalty.
jewels on them in his beard. He greets you regally. He is, in fact, the steward. So I hear that you want to read the royal letters. Unfortunately, I am going to have to tell you that I obviously cannot allow you to do that.
Even that would help us in saving members of the city, members of the royal guard.
The guards are in doing their services.
So you're willing to let people in your services die if it could have been prevented.
I can't let you read those letters, but I can tell you what is written in them roughly, not in any
That would be
detail.
That would be nice.
Very good. So, what would you like to ask?
Were there any unusual sightings, activities, or similar happenings stated in the last letters?
Nothing of any unusual occurrences near the outpost, or at the outpost.
Were there
And
any spellings, wordings out of the ordinary,
None that we could,
like a secret code?
none that we could read or find. The letters were
could you
not
tell us the
from the
names of
outpost.
the people who were there?
I would have to check the military.
Don't need the
letters.
names right now. Let's say
You
it's
just-
Kevin Stewart and Bob.
We'd need the numbers at least.
There were 4 guards stationed there, and then the mailmen would have returned to the outpost after delivering the mail. So there are at least 5 missing at the outpost, possibly more.
Okay.
We don't know if there was another person coming from another city through that outpost from the other side.
Has there been like a goblin or troll attack into the outpost in the last few weeks?
Not at this outpost. We had a goblin attack, or raid, more precisely, somewhere on the way to Cramp Hall. However, as far as we know, other members of your guild took care of the remaining goblins and the troll they were keeping.
Do you
Think-
guys have any more questions?
I think we should just get on.
Yeah.
Get it done. I'd rather go there and be back by nightfall.
What is this nightfall you're talking about?
Sorry, what is it? Sorry. Sometimes I just say weird things. Don't pay attention to me, and then he just like kind of starts away.
Yeah, time underground.
How do they measure time in Dwarfland?
I've been thinking about this. I'm planning on introducing a mineral that helps with it. Sort of like glowstones. They serve as torches, clocks, and fine material for creating runes.
Hannah, how's your character called again?
Harleen.
Harleen, thank you.
Yeah.
I went to Harleen. Are you sure we can trust this guy?
I think he knows what he's doing when he's doing what he's supposed to.
Okay. Alan Z.
Which is Dwarven for let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so Shiraz, I can't remember. Ed knows actually 2 shortcuts.
Okay.
One that will take 5 hours, which means that by the time you reach the outpost, it would be about the same time as you would be going to sleep.
Okay.
The other one takes considerably less time, but it is by far more dangerous. And that is an actual slide.
You know
So
what you have to do.
I immediately like cover the other area that's marked on my map, and I'm like, that's the way we'll takes 5 hours. We'll be there by about bedtime.
What are you covering there on the map?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's dangerous. We shouldn't
Then
go
you
there.
can show it to me if it's nothing.
Ed can make a heart roll
Oh god, I'm shit at that.
with let's see.
I don't have anything. Like no speech, no
You
nothing.
don't have
No speech.
heart?
Okay.
I'll just roll. I'll just try and convince.
Um,
And that's 1 success.
okay, good. And Andreas Bonemender, or what is his name? First name?
Vigil.
Which of
Richard.
Vigil.
Vigil.
Yes.
Vigil can make a mind roll.
With senses?
senses. No.
Okay.
Do you have an edge in mind?
Intelligence.
Okay, not that one then.
No, that's why I didn't ask for that one. Two strikes.
2 strikes.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah, he's hiding something under the,
I'm lying.
on that map.
If it, are you afraid of a little bit danger?
Look, I just want to get this. Already sounds like a dangerous job.
And we have a quick way. I don't want to get into more dangerous situation than we have to.
Oh,
But we
okay.
but
He takes his hand off, and there's quite literally like written with red ink on the map, extreme slope. Do not go there. It's like,
But if you reach there by sleep time, we will be sleepy and tired, and
well, our arses could also be on fire by the time we get.
Yeah.
but
Doesn't the warrior have a shield? No, wait. None of
Which
you
warrior?
is playing a
No.
warrior.
We could
Not-
get
not-
some shields and slide down
yet.
on them.
but slides, guys.
I mean,
Slides.
you can take
just
the
like
slide and meet us there.
Dangerously.
so compared to like me, who's like quite old and neurotic, and Vigil is like quite young and excitable.
Yes.
So I'm just like, oh fuck. It's like fine,
Oh, youth.
but but you're leading the way, young.
Well, then we are not taking the slide.
We're not taking. I agree,
Oh, no.
but if the young one wants to go by the slide,
Then he can go by the slide. We catch up.
Okay.
sensing
not
that
taking the
sensing that I
slide.
have found like a kindred soul, I'm like, yes, exactly what he said. No slides.
No funsies.
Stop grumbling. Let's go. And I load a bolt into my gun.
Excellent. So the travel takes you about 5 hours.
Hi ho, hi ho.
No incident. Nothing.
Well, you are traveling by the road,
The-
so on the road.
I thought you said there were two
Oh,
shortcuts.
There are 2 shortcuts. You're traveling by one
The
shortcut.
safer one.
So let's
Yes.
safer one. Let's give it a little bit of danger then. Thank you,
Thank
Siras.
you.
I'm sorry I spoke.
That's fine.
Um,
I'm actually looking forward to this because I have no
Okay.
idea what's going to
so
happen.
there's one problem with the shortcut, and that is just a slight ledge that
Oh, God.
that you need to climb down.
So how is climbing better than a slide?
Well,
It's more direct.
Would you?
It's like
How deep is it?
Let me look. Under in the chapter of things that hurt.
Yeah.
Thing that hurt. It's about it's about it is about 6 meters. 5 meters.
Okay.
Uh,
Could I? I mean, I don't know how far you trust me, but I have a magic ability that might get us down there safely. All of us.
like what
Okay.
kind? Just
Hmm?
just fly us down?
Pretty much.
Okay. I look
Okay.
at the young one. I look at Vigil and I go, "This should be excitement enough to cover up for this."
I mean, I've never flew before, so okay.
Oscar,
Yep.
clarification. The telekinesis spell does not specify that it can be used only for one target, so I can switch it
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the duration. Okay.
yeah.
So I could use it on all 3 of us.
Yes.
All right.
However,
I don't trust magic enough, so I will climb down. I will use my athletics to climb down.
If you
I
insist.
don't have any athletics, so I will trust the mage.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Ed climbing down.
Okay, so I have acrobatics as a specialization. Can I parkour down this?
Oh, well, you can try.
I will parkour down this.
How are you going to parkour down? I mean, are you just going
Like
to
I'm gonna
jump?
slide down and then kind of bounce off the walls, maybe.
There's no wall
There's
to
no
bounce
wall?
off.
Okay,
There's
fine,
no
I'll just-
opposite wall. Just
I'll climb down. Okay, so can I use dexterity to climb, or is it more of a brawn thing?
it is
Like-
more of a brawn thing.
Okay, so that.
but- Well, if you care to explain how you're going to use dexterity to climb, parkour. Sorry.
Is there a place to tie a rope nearby, near the
Uh,
ledge?
probably.
Like anything solid?
Probably.
I would try a rope down and then try and rappel down.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, sure. I'll allow you to use dexterity.
Okay, so that's 3 dice. 3 dice for dexterity. 3
Uh,
dice for body, 1 for
so
dexterity.
This is a, let's say, this is a long fall, by the way. So I am setting the mark at 3.
Okay.
I do not have the spell that slows falling. Just before you scream it at me when you fall.
But
I think I'll be fine. I'd
but I
rather
can-
not trust magic. I've seen you guys turn people inside out.
And I can mend your bones if anything happens to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, sure.
Much obliged, young
Okay.
brother.
Okay.
Don't worry about breaking any bones. I can put them back on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can use dexterity, and it's a body roll.
It is a body roll.
Okay, so that's 4 dice there. And do I use athletics as a skill? Or
You would, yes.
okay, so that's 5 dice. That's the maximum amount of dice I have currently.
Uh,
I lost 1 dice, but I'll roll. So that's 2 successes already.
did you? Yeah.
And- I can go find the other dice, so I can re-roll one of.
Yeah. Did you roll any 6?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, I don't know yet because I did. The one down there is a 6.
Yay! Okay, so in that case, you are. So I've added the
Exploding dice
exploding
mechanic.
dice rule. So any 6, you get to roll 1 extra
Okay.
die.
Okay, I should try. Nope, I have 2 success.
There goes our guide.
There goes the guide. There goes the guide. So you make a short.
Can I
way-
lose my rope to succeed? Like it breaks about like, you know,
Yeah.
a meter.
So when you are gotten fair distance down, the rope breaks. There's a jagged edge on the rock wall that the rope keeps rubbing up against, and it essentially cuts the rope.
Mhm.
Your rope is broken.
You hear the sound of "Get!" as you hear the
And-
sound of a dwarf dropping on the ground.
And then loud thump, but not as loud, but no crunch, so he's fine.
That sounded okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't saw anything. Are you alive?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay. You next.
Yeah, you need to roll for the spell.
Yes, I do. Okay, so that's 4 for mind.
Yes.
Then +1 because I have the specialty, right?
Yes, true. And one
And
because
one
you have
for the
skill,
The staff. Oh,
and one for the
plus one
staff.
and plus
okay.
1 for the edge.
Do you have edge?
Isn't
I
it
just forgot that the book
intelligence?
counted as equipment.
I have the intelligence edge, yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't help.
Uh,
What does it?
well,
We did it last time.
Ah,
yeah. So I'm fine with it.
that's a shitload of dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also rolled against Mark II because he has an Rune of
Yeah.
Alliance.
Yes. Although
think-
any spell that is directed at him.
Yeah,
Is,
and it is now.
Well, yeah, but except that telekinesis is a
Oh,
general,
okay. Okay.
more general spell.
Right.
So it's more directed towards you than him.
Yeah, okay.
and-
Second play test. Start
Yeah.
with the book crunching and power gaming.
Just checking.
You're just hanging on to.
Well, this I should have this small tagline under the place test, like break this game or something.
Yeah. Okay, so that is definitely 3 hits, 4 hits.
4 hits. Is it 4 hits or 4 strikes?
4 strikes, sorry.
So 2 hits.
Hmm?
When you get as many strikes as the mark, you hit the mark, so you get 1 hit.
right. An
And then
additional, right.
and additional strikes are
Yes.
additional hits.
No, it would be 2 hits, yes.
Yes. So you can easily enough maneuver him down, and then
Yeah.
you can
First I pick him up a bit.
Whee!
And then
do like
not quite as bad, but it's
dance,
a,
boy, dance. Okay.
yeah, it's more of a
Do you ascend like this? Do you like go?
If I
More like
remember,
Magneto style.
if I
Magneto
remember correctly, telekinesis also consumes 1 share.
it does, yes. I will mark that off.
While these guys are doing the fancy show, can I forage on the way?
Sure.
That doesn't reduce the time.
Sure. But you do so at increased difficulty.
Yes, I'll
or
try.
Increased in mark.
I have foraging as a specialization, survival as a skill. That's 2 dice,
Mm-hmm.
and then awareness doesn't count, does it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think
Awareness
that counts. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3, and then so I have 6 dice to roll.
Yep.
Hey.
The mark for this is 2, so it's pretty low.
I rolled
Fairly
2
low.
5s, 1 6, and another 5. So that's an exploding dice. So definitely got 2 hits. 4 strikes, 2 hits.
4 strikes. That's 3 hits.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, mark 2. So 2 strikes is 1 hit.
Okay. And
So
then everyone above it.
Every
Okay.
strike above that mark is another hit.
So I got 3 shares then?
Yep.
Oh,
You found a lot
Nice.
of stuff that's usable.
Stuff.
mhm.
Yeah.
Probably a smuggler.
Oh, that's
Yes,
actually a good idea.
yes.
This shortcut was actually used by smugglers
Oh.
at some point. Sometime after you traveled here last,
And their stash.
you found a little something left behind, as well as a dwarven bones.
Oh.
Nothing of value on the on the carcass, though.
Mhm. So it's just, is it food? It's just shares, right? Some nicks and
Shares.
knacks.
It just shares.
Mm-hmm. So while these guys are coming down, I'm just rummaging through. Whenever they're all down, I'll share.
Wasn't it that in the end we can spontaneously decide what the share is and use it for in
Yeah.
a specific situation?
Yes, you technically you can, although shares should be more limited to consumables.
Okay.
So you can't actually say, I have these three shares, they are now knives that I carry with me at all times.
Okay.
But you can use it to fix broken gear.
Like I have this spare parts with me,
Spare parts,
or this
bandages.
herbs.
Okay.
Okay.
So after letting Vigil float down, I'll use the spell then on myself
Mm-hmm.
and also fly down.
Fixed from last time, since I wasn't really sure if I should allow telekinesis on the self, but still.
You haven't been doing very good with gorges and valleys and all sorts of.
Yeah.
Last time we lost a lot of good ale.
Oh, not the ale.
What did we call it? Lost Ale Gorge?
Lost ale gorge.
Yeah.
Lost Ale Gorge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It is now on my updated detailed map.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. 3 dwarves named it on their way to Stonereach, and they made the map. So.
So they
So-
found it, they name it. Yeah.
Therefore, it is now called Lost Ale Gorge.
Excellent.
We
That's-
can name this one too.
I mean, this isn't.
Smuggler's Hidey Hole or something. It's like-
Smuggler's Hole.
yeah.
That sounds wrong.
Well, it's just short.
Only to a young one.
It is a shorter version of Smuggler's Hidey Hole.
Yeah.
So
The
Smuggler's
actual term for this place is Smuggler's Hidey Hole.
But it will be shortened anyway at some point.
It's a
So
hole.
when you get when you get down, I say I found some herbs and some other equipment, and like kind of lay it out in front of you guys so you can take whatever you want. So 1 share each to anyone who would like it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at the skeleton of the dwarf, and I'm just like, hey, young one, can you tell me how this one died?
I take a look at the skeleton.
make a mind roll with your what's it called? Medicine check?
Yeah.
Medicine roll skill?
Yeah, my specialties don't help here, but I
I
think
don't think so. What's your specialty?
first aid and field surgery.
No, not really.
He may be beyond that.
Yeah,
I think I can save him.
but my edge helps
Just put a
here.
band-aid on the bone.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It's like,
He has broken bone. Let's fix that.
3 strikes.
3 strikes. It looks like he had quite the tumble before he died.
I pick up the skull. Ratio. You shouldn't have jumped. You shouldn't have climbed.
do you know this guy?
Well,
No.
now he's called
You
Horatio.
just said Horatio.
Yes.
Well, either ways, a lost dwarf still deserves a burial, so we should take his remains.
If you want to carry
Just as well.
them.
I will carry Horatio.
Okay.
He has like a
Just
big
as-
hole in his head, right?
Hmm?
Okay.
Well, you can make one.
No, I don't want to desecrate
But
anything.
well, if you make a hole, you can't really use his skull as a cup.
Tempting, but no.
Okay. So you bring Horatio with you towards the outpost and continue, presumably, until you reach a marked space where
Can we
essentially
approach the outpost carefully? Can we approach the outpost carefully?
Let's say that you reach a spot where you know for certain that the outpost is very close by. So yes, you can approach carefully.
Mm-hmm. Any light? Nothing? Fires?
No light. No. But there is signs on the cavern walls that's essentially just say outpost ahead. Yeah.
One more question when I'm looking at my sheet. You know the spells you have specialties for.
Yes.
So do the 2 prepared runes that is starting equipment have to be spells known?
No.
Oh, all right then.
They're more like consumables, aren't they? They just fire off.
Yeah, it's
stuff.
just you could have had anyone make them for you.
Oh, okay.
They're like
Sweet.
scroll.
Yeah.
Then I
One
will...
use.
Okay, nice. Good to know. Yeah, sure. Let's do this.
I load my stone thrower.
Okay. Bertha.
Bertha.
You load Bertha.
That sounds wrong.
Well, you don't want to know what I was thinking about saying next.
Well,
And that the dwarf Vera comes out of the tunnel.
Okay, so you're gonna approach carefully.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
a body roll with the stealth skill.
would dexterity apply?
Yes.
Should he go first? I think he should go first.
Yeah, he should go first. Yeah, definitely.
Whoa,
Yeah.
why me? I'm super neurotic at this point. It's like,
Do we look like people who had anything in body?
You're the guide.
hey, just because I eat a lot doesn't mean you have to judge me.
I mean, if you get in trouble, just scream like a stuck pig, and we'll be right there.
If we get in trouble, I am going to be running back.
Or that.
That's
You
also
should all
good
start
time.
running as well.
Do both. Do both. Do both.
Okay, fine, I'll go first.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like in character. Stealth time.
Yeah.
That is a 6, so there's 1 strike, 1 hit. I'm so
Okay.
confused with hits.
Well,
No, that's 2. Sorry, I have a 5 as well.
Oh, good.
So does that succeed? 2
Well,
strikes?
it's mostly to see if It depends. I'm not gonna tell you if your stealth
Okay,
succeeds.
I will roll the extra exploding dice just to save, like just to be safe.
Yeah.
And that's another strike. Sorry, a hit.
Strike.
Strike.
Yeah. Until I say otherwise, they are known as strikes.
Okay, 3 strikes.
3 strikes. Okay. So you approach the outpost. As you get closer, you do see there has been a little bit of struggle there.
I hold up my hand like that.
What?
What's he doing?
I think.
And then I start doing actions like.
I think he's making shadow figures or something like that.
Yeah, it's just like.
Have you ever seen a bird?
It was a bat, not a bird.
Yeah, well, true. Surely enough. So you do see a little bit of struggle there. A bag has been flung to the wall, and like a side satchel. Satchel is the word.
Do I see any blood?
Yes, you do see blood. There's a little bit of spatter on the actual satchel, and then there's some on the floor of the cavern, on the tunnels, and that lead into the outpost.
I carefully make my way back to the others.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, something definitely bad has happened. The place looks like there's been a fight. There's blood on the gates.
Hmm.
It definitely looks like something bad has happened. Also, whenever I do this and this, that means go ahead. stop behind me,
Oh, okay.
move, and stop.
Okay.
You should have told that. You should have told us before you left.
I know, I forgot, but now we know.
Yes, now we know.
So-
Now we know.
No, we can take a closer look, and maybe we can reconstruct what has happened here. Because
Yeah.
if you return now and we don't have the answers to the questions they will ask us, we will be in deep trouble.
Well,
I
first
agree.
we should find out what happened to the garrison. They're dead, and we should bring them. Well, we should bring survivors back.
Yeah,
I'm
but
listening to both of them, and I'm just like going, "You guys are new, aren't you?"
We can also yes. We can also look what killed the dead people.
But technically we're done. We are just we can do more, and we should. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's form a line. Let's keep our healing friend in the middle, and let's keep our magic friend closer by.
And we
Okay.
walk in each other's steps to hide our strengths.
Yes.
Someone's going to
I
make a
hold
special.
out the alliance. I hold out the alliance stones to like tap with the-
Someone is going to actively try and step out of this. outside the other steps.
I'm gonna start like retracing my steps through the same kind of hidey places that I was using.
Okay.
Just try and kind of go from rock to rock.
Okay. So all of you can make if you are indeed sneaking.
We're
can make-
trying.
We can try.
You can try. You can make another.
Can I like can
roll
I
with
assist
stealth.
them by like pointing out which places are good for hiding?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So in
Can
that
I
case,
assist both of them?
you can assist one, or
Okay. Who's worse
both,
at hiding?
or since you're getting 2 dice, you can assist one for 2. Well, no. Let's say you can assist.
Can I split
no,
my dice between both of them?
Let's say you can assist both. Let's say
Okay.
for simplicity, you can assist both, and they both get 2 dice.
Okay. Am I supposed to roll again, or do I keep my
No, you
stealth roll?
you just keep your roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a rule of one?
Uh,
You take a dice away and
we
roll it.
are. There is one rule of 1, but that only applies if you roll nothing but once.
Okay, now that I just about succeeded and stealthily approaching.
One hit from
One-
me.
1 strike.
One hit. I don't know.
1 strike.
You just say strikes from now on.
Oh,
Yes,
damn it.
yes, yeah.
That way. Yeah, sorry.
okay.
So one strike, yes.
Andreas, how many strikes? Did you roll any strikes?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah.
So you're confused by the hand signal. You're like,
Probably I'm muttering without even noticing. Oh, this is so exciting. Finally in action. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happened and make a name for myself. My parents will be so proud.
Well, you do sneak. You just make more sound than you are supposed to, and you are more noticeable than the others.
okay, so we're back to the gate again.
You are now in front of the outpost. The doors open. There's a trail of blood leading inside. It's dark inside. There is the path continues onward to the other side of the gate door.
Is the bag on the way?
The bag is on the way. Yeah. The satchel is so you can, before you get to the door, you can pick up the satchel if you like.
So what would I have to do, like, to tumble past, get the bag, and get on the other side of the door, get a better view of inside the?
No, I mean you can reach it as you are sneaking towards the door.
Okay, I would do that, and like, I would immediately kind of check to see how fresh the blood is. If it's been, can I tell how long it's been?
It's been maybe about 2 or 3 days, probably. It's dry.
What's in the bag?
Mail.
I read the mail.
Can I go into the outpost and check out the corpses?
You can go into the outpost, yes, if you like. The mail is, well, it is all sorts of mail. It is, for example, an order made to a craftsman in another city called something or another. It is one of those cities that Hanno's character has been to, so he can tell you the name of the city if he likes.
Sure. It's called Granite Falls.
That, yeah. So the mail was going that way. There's a mail order to a craftsman who seems to specialize in making like small porcelain figures. Ordering for...
Am I just going like bills? Do I get to anything like regarding this outpost?
Nothing. There is a mail that is that was heading to the outpost. Yes.
What does it say?
It seems to be a mail to the dwarf known as Two-Legged Kevin. Two-Legged Kevin. It seems to be from his mother. Hoping everything is well. His father's fungal feet is acting up. Stuff like that. Also a reminder that the fungal feet thing is genetic somehow. They have no idea how. That shouldn't be, but it is.
Father's been washing his feet in contaminated water again.
Yes. And then there's one letter with the royal stamp on it, going to on its way to what, Gravity Falls, or what is it? Granite Falls. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, but it's sealed.
It has the royal seal on it, so you would have to break the seal to open it and read it.
Okay, so I put all the letters away and keep the satchel kind of in my backpack or slung around,
Okay.
just so that I can return the mail.
Okay.
And I will follow after Vigil.
Okay. Vigil has entered the outpost and is looking at the corpses inside. Unfortunately for him, there are no corpses inside.
The blood trail goes nowhere?
The blood trail actually leads into a hole in the wall. A fairly recent hole, it seems. Seems to have been just broken from the other side into the outpost.
Okay.
So
This doesn't look
there's
good.
still rubble on the floor from when it broke.
Are there any other structures inside this place?
It is mostly just storage, armory, and living quarters.
Okay.
And
Let's go
there's
check
one
out all the
office.
buildings.
Not really
So-
buildings, more like rooms.
Ed,
Mhm. Yes.
can you check for footprints or similar?
I can try and
tracks
do some
to
tracking. Yeah.
see who made this hole and probably either take prisoners or take his newly acquired flesh with them?
Yeah. Okay, so can I roll a senses roll,
Yes.
but with my nose, since I have a good nose for trouble? It's one of my specializations. Do I?
You
Do I?
you can. Yes.
But I'm looking for tracks more than I'm not using my nose for this.
So in that case, no.
In that case, no. I should have had a good hand for trouble. So senses awareness counts, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5.
Anyone,
I will look for track.
Okay. Anyone want to help?
I can try.
That gives you
Just see,
another,
if
that
you see
gives
any
you
tracks, call
gives
me
you
over.
it gives you another die.
I mean,
yeah,
I have
yeah.
the skill senses.
Yep, that helps.
Yeah. And it's 2 for the alliance thingy.
Oh yeah, 2 for the
Oh,
alliance.
right.
Does my specialty in smell
It
help?
no, it doesn't help.
No,
It
helping
gives him.
only
It
gets one.
gives. Yeah, it gives him 1 die or 2 dice if he has the Rune of Alliance.
Wait a second. Yeah,
Yes.
2 strikes.
You don't
Can
have
I
to roll.
assist?
You don't have to roll.
Oh, sorry.
He gets.
I just get
Uh,
extra dice.
While they do that, can I search the rooms, the outpost for shares?
Yes.
Anything useful?
Yes. That's a mind
Okay.
roll with, in this case, senses.
Okay. That's not bad.
So that's 4 strikes for tracking.
Okay.
Also 4 strikes for the investigation.
Okay. 4 strikes for investigation. You actually find a fairly decent amount of useful stuff.
Okay.
Roll it. Oh, well, okay. So I rolled a D. I was going to say that I'm rolling a D3, but it doesn't matter whether it was because I rolled a 1, and so
Okay.
you actually find 5 shares worth of stuff.
Okay. I'll wait for the others to return.
It seems that whoever broke in wasn't trying to get any of the useful stuff.
Prima, also not the mail. Okay. So good to
So
Yep,
tracks.
tracking. You
Yeah.
do notice, well, the obvious blood trail that leads into the hole. The hole is just about your size, so you can get through and into the tunnels on the other side. You do find tracks in the blood trail.
Hmm.
Um,
I wouldn't want to get into the hole like too
No,
far.
no, no.
Yeah,
But
we just-
I'm just telling you what you see inside the outpost.
Okay.
On the inside of the outpost, you do find some trails, about 3 or 4 sets of dwarves, definitely, going into the hole. A little
Like
bit
being dragged or
no,
walking towards it?
walking or hastily,
Okay.
quickly.
Mhm.
You, in addition to the tracks, dwarven tracks, there are older tracks, it seems, that seem to be like underneath, or
Mhm.
definitely not dwarves. they seem too light and like they're not stepping entirely on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting their full weight. The
Like clawed feet.
Or like
doesn't-
goblin feet.
no, not goblin. You would recognize goblin feet.
Mm-hmm.
These are not goblins, but they are only slightly. They're about dwarven size, but they look like they are lighter than dwarves.
Okay, some unspeakable horror. Attack the outposts, track the guards here.
Definitely
I
feet,
ha-
though.
I have a theory. I think the mailman got attacked and got dragged into the hole, and the other dwarves followed him.
Also, oh well, I'm not there.
Well, they're still inside the outpost.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So
well,
you are there.
Let's check out the other rooms before going for this
Oh,
obviously dangerous place.
Guys, I already did a little check. Here, I found some useful stuff.
Oh, good.
Do
I
you
only
take-
have space for 2.
Okay. What about you, Visual?
Me too have only space for 2.
Well, so do I, but so you take 2 each, and I'll take 1.
So I'm
This is
maxed
so
out.
much different from the last game where we were
Yeah,
struggling.
It's very
again.
different. It's very different.
I mean, I'll just shout at you if I need one for a spell. So
Yeah, don't shout. We don't know what this is. And I start showing him the tracks, and I'm like, look at these, they're weird.
they are weird.
Would you like, are there any magical creatures or anything like that you've read about in your books that you know would make these?
Can I roll for it?
You can make a mind roll, and
Yeah.
What skills?
Studies.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't have any specialties, so that's it.
Some light reading in the dark.
Because intelligence probably will not help.
Yeah, intelligence does help.
Oh, okay. Adding a die. 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Um,
I'm learning.
yeah. So there are stories of creatures, there are stories of creatures who worship gods, that unspeakable gods, and they have been known to sacrifice intelligent creatures to their gods. Mostly goblins, because they're easier to catch. But on occasion, a dwarf will be taken, and they are, well, from your studies, they've never been known to have anyone been able to reason with them.
Okay. I will relay that information in the most factual and boring tone possible.
It takes you about 20 to 30 minutes to.
I zone out after the 3rd minute. Like, oh,
Yeah, I mean it's not
glazed over.
taking that long. It's just the delivery. It's just this could be exciting. You know, a scald could make this a rousing tale.
Like
He's-
boring David Attenborough.
Yes. Exactly.
So at this point, I'm just like, so they're danger.
Yes.
So
Very.
Can they be killed?
They cannot be reasoned with, but they think they can be killed.
There's.
So we technically have fulfilled our mission and can go back now?
Well,
I mean, yes, but I don't think we should. I mean, Yeah.
Like while we're talking, I'm gonna go check the other rooms, like the barracks, whatever other thing.
I mean, if we had found their bodies, I'd say okay, let's go. But they might be alive.
We found a body, and I hold up the skeletal ratio.
Well, he doesn't count.
Damn it.
you only, yeah.
Is there anybody in the other rooms?
There's nothing in the other rooms.
No sign of scuffle, no nothing. Weapons gone.
Hanno, what's your character's name again?
Harlem.
Harlem?
Halin.
Harlan.
Harlan?
Halin.
Halen.
Yes, or
Halin.
Harlem.
Oh,
Haleen.
Helen.
Haleen.
Yes.
Okay. Haleen pretty much searched everything, found everything of use.
Okay.
But no,
I
there are
understand
no bodies.
Yeah, but have the weapons gone? Like, are they weapons that are missing?
It seems so, yes. The weapons are gone, but bandages, food, and so on. That's pretty much what Haleen found earlier.
So I do CSI Dwarf Vision, and I'm like, this is where the mailman got caught, and this is where the bag went. You can see the trajectory. He tried to run, and then he was dragged away screaming into the hole. And then you see these footprints there of all the 3 doors going in out.
Are we doing
Case
CSI Underworld?
CSI Dwarfland.
CSI Dwarfs?
Yeah.
And then I put on my stone glasses.
So why am I in the field and not in my laboratory?
Well, sometimes they go out.
They all go out at
For some reason. They all
Usually
do.
to get kidnapped.
Okay, so we have a very important decision to make here. Do we A, go back to the city, and tell them what happened, come back with reinforcements? Or do we assume that there are live dwarves in there that will back us up and try and see if we can find out what happened?
And we'll pick that up after the break.
Okay.
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 Sounds like a good place to take a break.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. And we're back. Okay, so have you made a decision on what you will be doing?
No, but
No.
No, no. So let's discuss that.
So, Harleen,
I'd
What-
say we try to follow find these fellow dwarves.
Ed,
Yes.
I think we follow and we see if they're alive. If they're alive, we take their help because we need it. If they're dead, we run.
okay, then the decision is made. We
Sorry,
follow.
we retreat gracefully. Tactical.
Tactical retreat. Run, you fools!
Yes. I like that.
Okay.
I will unfortunately lead the way.
All right. You are leading the way.
May I be stealthy again?
You may. Everyone roll, make a body and stealth. Body roll with stealth skill.
Can I assist them again like last time?
No, because you are stealthing. You're not.
Okay.
You're not. Haven't been this way before.
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
don't know
how
the.
to-
You don't know the way.
Okay.
What's the try? Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
So we are in the back going. It's moving so quietly. It's amazing.
One strike.
Did you ever read the abstract of Rosca Many Rights?
So while they're mumbling in the back, I kind of audibly say, "Can you shut up? We're trying to be stealthy here."
Yell
It's like
at them. Yell at them. You guys shut up, I'm trying to be sneaky.
So one strike.
Okay, so as you're moving along, you enter like a bit larger cavern, and on the other side of it, you can see where the tunnel continues. You can make a mind roll with your senses.
I have awareness, so I should use.
Can I
Yes.
use my
Can
smell?
I smell anything weird?
Yes, you can
Okay,
add
I
that
will use
specialty.
Okay,
will
so
use
I
my
have
special.
my specialty in smell helps.
No, your special. You two do not get that roll because Ed is in the front.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Right.
So I will use. We both like have specialty of smell.
Yeah, because
Well,
at
but
the
yes, but you have the specialty of smelling danger, right?
and I have the specialty of smell because of diseases.
Yes, that's two
Yeah.
different things.
Mm.
Okay, so next time. So 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Ooh. So yeah,
We are dead.
you smell something off in the cavern. Just like something is definitely there with you. You smell it just in time to see a figure standing off to the side,
Uh-huh.
hands up to his face,
Uh-huh.
and then like a weird sound like whoop.
Oh
And-
shit! It's a blowgun. You took the idea.
What is your armor?
Because I smelt it, do I get any kind of defense against like a
Yes, you get your armor.
warning? Okay, I get my. I have 4. I think medium armor is 4. Yes, 3?
Medium
I'm not
armor
sure.
is 3.
3. Yes, I have.
You have 3. Okay, so well, shits. Probably not. Oh, shits. 2 6s.
Ooh.
2 6s and a 3. No, sorry. 2 6s and a 5. Sorry.
3 strikes.
3 strikes.
My armor is gone.
No. Well, yeah. So it's 1 hit. You are
Okay.
struck with a needle in the neck.
Oh.
Doesn't actually hurt that much, but as you pull it out, you kind of feel like you kind of get this burning sensation in your neck a
Okay.
little bit.
Can I shoot it back?
First, I will have you roll and make another roll as soon as I find it there. Yeah, you can make a body roll
Okay.
against a mark equal to against a mark of 2.
A mark of 2.
Yeah.
Okay. A body roll. Survival helps, no?
Nope, nothing helps. Just body.
Nothing helps.
Nothing helps. Pure body.
just one strike.
Okay, so in that case,
Like, can I
Okay.
turn
You
it into a partial success by something? No.
do you have a suggestion or?
I would say that just because I smelt something off with my nose,
Yeah.
can we say that like the needle didn't get that far in and like something like that? Like I put my strap moved or something? No,
No, because
it's already with them.
Yeah.
I don't think I can.
No. Okay. In that case, you suffer 1 pain
Oh.
as poison starts getting into your veins.
Okay.
However, you will be happy to know that the poison's toxicity drops by 1.
Okay, that's good.
So
At least I don't take that much.
yeah.
So I immediately like kind
Now-
of whisper back, it's like there's someone here.
Now you can make an initiative roll.
Which is
2d6 and your highest trait.
that's a 11.
10.
Hold on, 2d6. As high as trait, you said. 14.
Okay.
I rolled 2 5s, I'm sorry.
No, I'm fine with it. So Haleen gets 14. Ed
Mhm.
gets
11.
11. And Vigil gets
10.
10.
10. Okay. Well, you'll all be happy to know that Haleen goes first. Ed goes second. Vigil goes third. And that shadowy figure is dead last. Well, he'll be dead last.
He'll be dead.
Last. Okay. Do I see that Ed is hurt?
You see that he reacts to being hit in the neck. Yes.
I did
Okay.
whisper someone's here, but I like
Yes. Then I will spend 2 shares and cast shield on him.
Okay.
If I can see him from where I am.
You can see him from where you are. Thinking, where is shield? Oh, there's shield. Around the target, any damage directed at the target gets absorbed by the shield first. The shield can absorb as much damage as the shares consumed by the spell when cast. You still need to make the spell cast though. Casting roll.
And since it's on me,
Yeah.
the alliance won't have.
Yes. So it's only a mark of 2.
2. Okay.
By the way, if you failed spell casting, you can always consume another share.
Spend more share.
Spend
Okay.
more another share to have it succeed.
That is 1, 2, 3 strikes.
3 strikes. Good. Okay, so you have a shield on you now.
I am
Worth 2 strikes, 2 hits. Yay.
and it's my turn now.
It's your turn now.
Okay. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Helen.
Yeah.
Do you want to move or like?
Can I see that
Oh
thing?
no, is that a thing? Like.
Movement is pretty just abstract in
Everything.
this game.
Okay.
Okay.
Might get more
I walk up.
complicated if and when I introduce more ranged combat.
Right. But can I see that creature as well as?
Well, yes, you can get to a vantage point where you can see him.
Okay, so I would just stay away, but get it into sight.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ed.
I immediately walk out, and since I know that I have a shield on me, I immediately like shoot straight
Okay.
at it. So
Make a shot. Make
Okay.
your shot.
So that's body with. Can dexterity be used for this?
In this case, yes.
Okay. So that's 4 dice and nothing else.
You do get your weapon counts as equipment.
Yeah, so 5 dice. I've been forgetting to put equipment in.
Yeah.
Like the last time with the rope, I forgot the rope as equipment.
Oh yeah, I forgot that too.
But it's done now.
Yes.
Nice. That's a very good roll. So, 3 strikes.
3 strikes. The that's still not sure what to call your ammunition.
It's like let's call it a style or something, like a stone.
Stake.
A stake, yeah.
Stake.
Stone
Yeah, stake. Okay, so your stony stake strikes the.
That's not gonna be a good way of saying it. Let's
No.
call it a bullet.
Bullet. Okay, yeah, your bullet hits the target straight into the dead center and pins him to the wall. It's pretty dark, but you're pretty sure that he's not moving.
Does it make a sound?
When you hit him,
Yeah.
there's a short shriek, more like an eep.
But it's not a language.
No, it's more like a shriek.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I load another bullet into my.
Okay, you can hear that he is mumbling something. And although you are pretty sure that you can hear him clearly, it's definitely not a language that you've ever heard.
He's casting something. Magic. I don't like magic.
Vigil, it's your turn.
Have I noticed that Ed is hurt?
You notice that he reacted to an attack.
Something.
Yes.
So
He doesn't know I'm poisoned.
I use my
No, not without examination.
Like inspection.
I use my action to defend and shout, "What's happening?"
Okay. Let's say the defend action is there somewhere. Oh, missed it. Defending. Instead of attacking, a dwarf can defend. Roll body with the fight or the athletics skill against a mark of 2. Each hit increases the dwarf's effective armor by 1 until their next action. This is actually much better than what I remembered. Okay.
1 strike.
1 strike.
Mhm.
Well, that pretty much means
Nothing.
yeah,
0.5
pretty,
defense.
pretty much. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Alan's turn again. Oh no, it's the thing's turn.
It's the thing's turn, and he continues to mumble something before just going silent.
Okay. Nothing happened?
Hallin's turn.
Right. Okay, let me check how this works. Okay, I would like to attempt an arcane blast for
Go
2
ahead.
shares. For 2 shares.
2 shares.
Yeah. So it's 1 damage for each share that is consumed.
Yep.
Let me hold on. Can reroll those. 3
Thing is like-
strikes.
This thing is
strikes.
alright.
Okay, so 3 strikes, that's a hit, and so he would deal 2 damage. You can see the arcane blast like an orb flying from your hand towards the creature, that has been pinned to the wall,
Yes.
and as it connects with the target, it bursts into a bright light of and pretty much just incinerates him.
Did we see it before it incinerated? Like, do we get to see its form?
Well, not much. No. It's
Like,
not.
it doesn't
It's
look
not.
dwarf.
It's not fully turned to dust, so you can have a look at it. But it is pretty crispy right now.
Whoops.
I go down on one knee because of the poison.
Oh, which reminds me, make another body roll.
Oh god.
The mark is now 1. You should have rolled earlier, so you can't. Nobody can help
Okay.
you now.
Hey, wow, that's 3 6s.
3
On
6s.
3 dice.
Oh, nice.
On 3 dice.
Excellent.
So I roll them again.
If you like, you succeed either way.
Okay, that's 1 more dice. So, oh god. Okay, this keeps going. So that's 6 successes.
6
6
strikes.
strikes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The poison is you essentially burn the poison out of your body. It just runs its course, and it is now gone.
Okay. Did this thing drop its weapon?
Well, you have to get closer to look, and
I will get.
you
Are we in
but-
fight mode right now?
But as soon as I see him
you
dropping
don't
to-
see anyone else in this cavern.
But as soon as I see him dropping to one knee, I run to him and you stay there, Ed. Let me check it out. And I want to see if there's still any lingering effects on him before I administer an healing salve on him.
Okay. Mind and medicine.
With intelligence?
With intelligence, and do you have specialty in
Poison.
Well, anything that can. Do you have any specialty that you think could help?
Just 8.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Four strikes.
Okay. You can see, if you examine where the needle, where the dart hit him on the neck, you can see where his veins have darkened. But like this, blood has been clogged a little bit or something. It's just a little dark, but then it fades. Essentially, you see, with examination, you can see that the poison is not that strong. It just so it's fading. So it's pretty much over.
I hand him the dart that I took out from as soon as I pulled it out. I tell him to be careful with it, but there might be some poison on this if you want to check it out for later.
But first, I administer some healing salve on you.
Yep.
So that you can take off 1 pain.
Thanks, young.
All right. That
And yeah, I want to know which poison that is.
which poison?
Yeah, on the dart. Can I
Okay,
check that out?
Well, first, if you want to heal him first,
Do I have to roll with healing paste?
no, not with healing paste. You're correct.
Mhm.
You can apply the healing paste.
Yeah. And I reduce that.
yeah,
already?
You can untick 1 pain then.
Okay.
Let's see. And the poison. What skill would you like to use?
Mind with intelligence, studies, and studies, possibly depending on how this poison was created, herbal plants.
You can make that roll, yes.
really is CSI dwarf.
Yes.
One strike.
Oh.
One strike will definitely tell you that this is in fact not herbal-based poison.
Mhm. And since I cannot determine exactly what this poison does or is, I cannot use my shares to improvise an antidote or protection from that.
From examining Ed earlier, it seems that it affects the bloodstream somehow.
But-
It is definitely lethal, it seems. Not paralyzing.
It's
So,
designed to kill rather than maim.
Capture.
is it possible to improvise some kind of herbal remedy or protection with my shares?
You would have to
Okay.
examine it closer, and it
Okay,
will take a
we don't have
longer
time for
you.
that.
No.
So I gently and carefully put this poison dart into piece of cloth, wrap it around for later examination when we are back in town.
Okay. Anyone examining the body?
I mean, I can look at it if I recognize it from any books. But
I will ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think Visual should assist because you have knowledge of like anatomy and stuff.
And I read a lot of too. So
maybe you look.
I assist you
Okay.
because I can tell you that it's burned to a crisp.
Yeah. Halin still gets
I
the.
think it died because of arcane fire.
Halin also gets the 2 dice for the alliance.
Yes.
Since she's assisting.
Okay.
And that's amazing.
So let's see. That's decent. 4 strikes.
4 strikes. Okay, so the body, aside from the burning flesh on one side of its face, it seems that it is like it's considerably. It is taller than any dwarf that you've seen, and it's definitely not a dwarf.
Not a dwarf.
Not
Nope.
a dwarf. It's thin. It seems to have wrapped itself in leather armor. It is poorly made armor, so it's. Other than that, its skin is pale white almost, and no beard, which you find really odd, being dwarf and all. And white hair that has been burned off one side
Okay.
very recently.
Hardin will just narrate his findings.
Yeah, it's very thin, like bony fingers, and hasn't been eating a lot. Teeth have been filed down to points, and it has a pointy ear on one side. The other one has been burned off. You've heard of creatures like this, but never this deep in the ground. You've heard stories from expeditioners going topside to the above ground, who've met creatures they refer to as elves.
But those elves hadn't such black skin, right?
No, but the
I mean,
No.
if they spend too long in the sun, they might. I don't know.
How
The sun burns.
So I think this creature is very weak compared to how a dwarf would.
But we should be careful nonetheless because of the poison.
The poison is troublesome.
Poison bad.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
can we go further in?
I mean,
I would like to see if I can find its blowgun.
that's not a dwarf, so we should keep going until we find out what we're looking for.
I'd like to find its blowgun if possible.
You do find something that you believe is the weapon he used.
So like a tube.
like a tube.
Hmm.
It's a oddly made object, since it's made out of clay, actually.
I look at it and I look at Bertha and I'm like, trim it.
It's very primitive. You also find on his body, let's say, oh well, one dart intact.
Okay. Good. You should hold on to that. Richard.
Okay.
Also, I kind of like open my backpack and I ask Harlan if he wants to like look in my bag if I've got something that he can use as components else.
Oh, and I kind of pull back because, just to get a better look. So you're. Do I find anything?
I have 10 of them, so you can take as many as you
Yeah.
need to like top yourself up.
Okay.
How much did you use?
I've used 5 so far. So I'd use 3. I'd take 3 if I may.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm still full.
Yes.
God, we're like swimming in shares.
Yeah. But the magic tends to require shares and components.
Component.
And I kind of have to use them, So if you want me to help out in a meaningful way, I would need some. Yes,
Don't worry, I have plenty of them. I can find more for you.
excellent. This is going so well. I'm so glad I came with you.
I rub my neck and I'm like, yeah, it's. So I lock Bertha again. I'm like,
Yep.
let's go. Just go for the other roll. Try stealth again.
Okay.
Hopefully better.
Yeah.
You can make another stealth roll.
It can't get worse than the last time.
Hey, you might like roll like me with body
Well,
and get
it
like
can.
6 sixes.
You can roll and get all ones.
One strike, so I'm not
It's
quiet
not-
again.
One strike.
And Halin?
What did we roll? Sorry.
You're stealthing. You're
Ah,
stealthing.
okay.
How long does the shield last? Until I'm hit?
Until the hits are gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually, I think that's reasonable. I actually think that's how it works.
1 strike for me.
So we're all like bickering
You're,
as we
you're-
Yeah. The shield can absorb as much damage as the shares consumed by the spell when cast. Yeah, that doesn't say that it stops.
no, it does not.
Okay.
And I think that's just fine.
Yeah.
And it's not too powerful. It's just powerful enough. And
So I
in
just
any
have like
case,
blue runic magic running over me all times, making it hard
Yours-
to hide.
you're slightly glowing.
I'm glowing.
Before long, you reach another large room in the caves. It seems empty though. There are 2 ways going. There are 2 passages going in different directions, and there is a light source in this room, like some kind of candles or burning oil, perhaps. And the wall between the 2 passages, other 2 passages, seem decorated somehow. like painted. But it's all painted in red.
Blood?
Would you like to have a closer look?
I first do my customary smell for trouble.
Okay. Make a mind roll with your senses and
Okay.
your awareness edge and your specialty in smelling trouble.
Okay. Okay, so that 2, 7. No. 6. One strike. I don't smell anything. The incense is overpowering.
Well, there is strong smell of burning oil.
Yeah, I walk in and try and take a look at the painting.
Yeah, you don't smell anything, but you do hear voices coming from one passage.
Like
that
Dwarven?
can't really tell.
Okay.
But then it seems that they're not trying to hide or anything. There seem to be at least 2 individuals speaking, but you can't make out what they're saying.
So I make a sign like that and then that to these guys who are hiding in the passage.
Yep.
He's making those hand gestures again.
Well, I think we should follow him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I walk up to the side of the hallway to get a better? Can I hear better from there?
Yep, definitely.
Do you need me to make a roll for it?
Not really. Like I said, they're not trying to hide. But they do sound like they're close-ish, not far at least.
Recognizable language?
No. It actually sounds like they're making no sense. You've heard the language of goblins, which dwarves usually refer to as gobbledygook. But this language makes even less sense. Well, mostly because it's something that you've never heard. And they never seem to be saying the same thing twice.
So as soon as these guys get close, I whisper as quiet as possible.
They don't sound like they're moving.
Well, as soon as these guys get close, just to be quiet, say, there's 2 of them in there.
You guys can take them. I trust in you.
Why?
Okay, do we take them or can we? Okay, I think we should go the other way. Maybe we'll find the dwarves. That's our job. Fighting these things is our job. It's an occupational hazard.
It was your idea, so I'm just following.
What do you say? Should we go the other way?
I don't know. Maybe.
On one hand, 2 more of these dead things means better. There's light there, so it might be important. Like there's light from the other side of the
There's light from the side that they are speaking in, and there's, well, you don't see any light from coming from the other tunnel.
There's a chance we could find the dwarves on this side, or they could be held captive on the other.
I mean, but
Where is the blood trail leading?
Well, that's a very good question.
Do the paintings give us any direction?
Well, you can definitely make a roll for that. Mind roll with, let's say, studies. mind roll with studies.
Who
So I
knows?
asked the nerds. Like,
Well, anyone,
Yes.
and if anyone wants to make a roll,
I-
anyone,
I
any
can-
other
Yeah.
person can
you
assist.
guys have read more books than me.
Mind and studies.
Mind and studies I'm good at.
Okay.
But I think you have a mind 4,
Yes.
right? So I assist you because you have one die more than me.
Also, what
And I
what
keep
else
a-
do you have? Intelligence?
Yep.
Okay, you can use that as well.
I keep an eye on the hallway where those guys are talking, just so that if they get
Okay.
closer, I'll.
4. Okay, so there are the signs on the wall. It seems to be a mix of a written language and signs or drawings. The language, there are symbols written on. Let's say there's an image drawn on the wall, and there's seems to be symbols written on both sides. However, no symbol is repeated, so you have no idea what they mean. The symbols seem to suggest a sort of worship of something that's down in the ground. It seems possibly something deep.
And my initial question, the blood tray is leading where?
The blood trail seems to be going into the other tunnel.
So one last question. We should go into the other tunnel, but there are 2 of those creatures there that might possibly fall in our back when things get eerie.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. Maybe we should just,
Silently,
out.
you silently take them out, and then we can follow the other tunnel.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes.
Okay.
So, can we get the element of surprise?
You probably can, but it doesn't actually help anymore. Well, as so far, only the burglar has the ability to get the element of surprise or
Like an
benefit from it, like a sneak attack.
I was just saying if we could go first, and
I would give you an extra die, and also go first if they don't notice you.
okay. So we stealth it up and then see if we can do it. Stealth
Yeah.
rolls have been great.
Yeah, you can make a stealth roll. Yeah.
I will make a stealth roll. Again. Hopefully this is more than one strike.
Yep.
It's 2 strikes.
Excellent.
Yay.
You sneak down the tunnel to a room where it seems to be a large table with several chairs around it. There are some plates on the tables. There is some light, and there are not 2 but 3 creatures, all pale-skinned, white as snow, with the same sort of armor you noticed on the creature you killed.
Do they all look like kind of the same status, or is one of them special?
None of them looks more decorated than the other.
Since I've sneaked all my way here, and I'm assuming they haven't, maybe they don't show any sign. They're still talking.
They are still talking, yeah. And so far you haven't heard any word repeated once or twice.
So these guys, where are you guys? Are you right behind me? You haven't rolled stealth yet.
I'm waiting at the crossing of those tunnels where we were before at the
I will
painting.
be.
Can I use my can I use my stealth roll to go back and like come back? Does it count?
Well, at least you can go up, back, but I'd
Like
have
going
to-
forward
I'd,
would make
I'd
me.
make you make another roll to go towards them again.
Okay, so I kind of walk back and I just tell them that like there's 3 of them. Like 1 I can definitely take.
Right.
2 maybe would help, but 3 we'd all
mean-
have to pull our weight.
I mean, I'm not really a warrior, but I could try helping you, but at least I can stitch you up afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't want 3 of them in our back, you know. So
Yeah.
Okay, let's kill shit.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take my dagger and slowly go out.
You stay in the back, young one.
Exactly.
Okay, so me first. And here's the stealth roll again. Let's see.
Okay. Everyone who's going can make a stealth roll.
Yay!
Not as quiet.
Yay!
Not as quiet, which means
1 strike.
1 strike.
1 strike.
No strikes.
2 ones.
On
On
ho-
2 for body.
On how many dice?
2.
2. You rolled
Trip.
nothing but ones.
I rolled snake eyes.
Snake eyes. Okay. So, like I mentioned last time, there's no official rule for this, although I'm considering adding it to them, to the mechanic. It's if you roll nothing but ones, it's essentially a fumble. So.
So yeah, what happens?
Bad.
You awaken Cthulhu, the great old one, comes in and speaks mad.
Okay, as you are sneaking downward, down through the tunnel, into closer to the room, suddenly Vigil suddenly trips and falls onto the ground, making a loud noise enough
Ouch!
and clanging of his equipment and armor, maybe.
The pants on the back of the bag are like flying.
The 3 creatures rush to their feet from their chairs,
Initiative time.
and from one side of the room, there are 3 tunnels leading, other tunnels leading from this room, other than the one you're coming from.
Okay.
So there's the one where you're coming from, and then there are other 2. Yeah, there are actually 2 creatures coming from one of those tunnels.
Like we can hear them coming.
Yes, you can hear the 3 that are standing in front of you have stopped talking and grabbed their weapons, and then you can hear some shouting coming from the side
Okay.
and some
Tactical
footsteps.
retreat. It's like,
So now you can make an initiative roll.
I know we're dead.
Probably.
12.
And 10.
12.
Okay, so
Nice.
what trait did you roll with, guys?
I-
Body.
Vigil and
Heart.
Ed, heart and body. What are your ratings in those traits?
3.
3.
3. Okay. Fine.
Although I have dexterity as an edge, so
I have nerve as an edge.
both of us are like equally.
So both of you are equally measured in this.
Can we go
So-
simultaneously?
You can decide which one goes first.
Yeah. Depending on the action.
I'm just gonna say run, like move backwards. We'll take them in the other hall.
Okay. What did Hallin roll?
10.
10. Okay. So, it is Vigil and Ed who go first.
Okay.
Then the creatures.
Mhm.
Then Hallin.
Yay!
So I back up enough that Hallen's behind me, and take a shot at any creature I can see with Bertha, and then regardless of if I succeed, I'll reload. Can that be doable in like one go?
Well, yeah, sure.
So I will take a shot at whatever's in front of me.
Well, yeah, there are 3 of them in front of you.
Take a shot with whoever's closest.
Okay.
And that is 4. Is that it? Oh yeah, 5 because of the. That is 2 strike.
2 strikes. Okay. That is actually enough to down one of them.
Edge.
Headshot. With a heavy stone stake
Yeah.
into the head.
So he's probably nailed to the wall.
No, well, wasn't standing next to a wall, so
He just
falls
got
down.
thrown backward. It's not
I'm
that far.
imagining the rail gun from
But-
Fallout 4.
But dude, that dude got totally stoned. Moving on.
This is like the test run for Bertha. If it gets well, then I'll sell it as a patent to the to the guild master.
The
Okay,
bullet hits him in the head.
and I would like to take off 1 chair because I'm losing my marbles with throwing them directly in front of the feet of the 2 others in hopes they fall down like I did.
That's good.
Just throwing your share at their feet.
Yeah, like
Oh, so
some,
you're trying
Oh,
to
they're
trick
marbles,
them. You're trying.
like ball bearings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. You're using. You're not losing your marbles. Okay. That's what I heard.
That's what I said. It was a pun.
Oh. There are no rules for puns
Right.
here. Yet.
Yeah. Okay. In that
That's what I
case,
get out for trying to be funny.
At least it's
That's
not
what you
as
get.
bad as Nomad.
So what do I roll? Do I roll anything?
you make a body roll with fight.
Taking 2 different d6.
Okay.
Just 2 strikes.
Yay!
strikes.
2 5s.
Okay. Yeah. One of them rushes towards you, slips on the bearings, and falls down.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to? Should we apply damage to this, or?
Let's
He slips and he hits his head on a.
let's say his armor is reduced
And
for
I
the
mean,
attacks.
you spend a share on that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay, he cracks open his head.
Yeah.
he hits his head on a stalagmite, and it pierces his back of his skull.
Ooh, epic.
So there's one left in the room. Who
I'm
rushes-
I'm in the front, like really in the front.
Yeah, Vigil would have to step in front of you to throw the bearings,
Oh, okay.
since you went
Alright.
first.
R.I.P. Witch.
So there's this guy running towards Vigil with a blade and swings it at Vigil's corpus body.
So dead.
What is your armor?
Medium.
Well, in that case, you are not dead.
Yay!
He swings close to your he looks like he's trying to. Well, he would cut off your head if it stood a little higher from the ground.
Nice.
So you just duck underneath his blade as it swings. And then two other creatures come rushing into this room from one side.
Mm-hmm.
Spouting gibberish and mad speech. So yeah,
Is that their turn?
that would be their turn.
Oh, okay.
Hallie.
Then I shall spend 2 shares for an arcane blast on the one that just tried to hit Vigil.
Thank you.
Three strikes.
3 strikes. That is a hit, and that indeed burns off his face.
Nice.
It just the blast hits him straight in the front of his face, and Vigil, you can see his face darken up as it is burned, and then it cracks and starts falling off, and he falls down.
Like Indiana Jones opening the casket.
Yeah, his face actually got crispy enough so it started to crumble off his head.
Okay.
And
Run.
Sorry.
As my first thing on my turn, I'm assuming it's my turn.
It is your turn.
As soon as I as soon as this happens, I'm like, run back to the other room, and I load up the Bertha again, shoot at whatever else is coming, and that is, well, yeah, this time I'm not hitting. I run out of ammunition to make the hit.
That was
I
your
jammed
last.
the gun.
That was your last bullet.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I only scored 1 strike there.
yeah. Did you only roll 1 strike?
Yes, just 1.
Okay. But you did roll 1 strike.
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's because their armor.
Is that enough to succeed?
Their armor is 1.
Okay.
That is why I can't actually lower their armor any.
Oh, okay. Does
So
that succeed?
that hits.
Okay.
That
Okay.
doesn't do much damage, but you're not out of ammunition.
Okay. And I immediately can I run backwards while kind of ushering these two back as
Yeah,
well?
sure.
Can can I push them back outside of their turn? Would I have to roll something for it?
There's no roll for it. Like I said,
I basically
moving
push
and
back,
moving and distance is pretty abstract in game terms.
Okay, so I try and push them back as further as I can, but I keep my eyes trained in the front.
And that is Vigil's turn.
I move into a good spot where I'm not easily hit by any poison darts and use a defend action.
Okay. Make your roll.
Nope.
Nope. A good try though. You do realize though, although you can move them outside their turn, the creatures can also move outside their turn. So they are moving as you are moving, so they keep up.
Right.
And they can catch you. Which they do. So I think Halin is furthest away from the entrance.
Since the others now move past me, yes.
Well, no, I
No.
moved in a way that I would keep them behind.
Yeah, okay, so you are closest to the creatures.
I am the first in line.
Okay, in
Thank
that
you.
case, both of them attack you.
Great.
So
Time for that shield to do its thing.
instead of rolling twice to make an attack, I'm just giving one extra die to that one guy who is
Like
attacking.
an assist.
Kind of like an assist, yeah. But it's still crap. They are terrible at their job.
So, since I have the shield, does it still affect my shield? Like they don't even hit?
No, they still need to pass your armor. Essentially, a shield gives you extra two
Like
health
two
levels or
Yeah.
pain slots to fill
I
in.
use Bertha to block their blows.
Okay. Just lift your Bertha up and both swords strike down at the same time. One of them is injured from one bullet, so he particularly doesn't like you. Although that doesn't really matter much. That brings us to Halin.
I'll keep shooting. Leave my friends alone. Again, a two-share arcane blast.
Seems to work.
Yeah, so far.
They seem
I-
extraordinarily weak to fire.
And I mean, I guess they're not Borg, so I hope they will not adapt after the third shot. That would be 4 strikes.
4
Holy
strikes.
shit.
Yep.
And
Definitely.
working off 2 shares.
How many shares do you have left?
4.
Good to know. So which one do you attack? One who has been hit before, or the other one?
The other one.
The other one. Okay. You strike his torso with your blast, and it actually scatters part of his side. So a mix of like burnt flesh and blood splatters on the floor, and he crumbles down like he has lost all strength in his muscles.
With a certain sense of satisfaction, I also keep moving towards the exit.
Okay, you can, by the way, at this point you can probably, no, it's still just that one guy who is attacking you, and it is Ed's turn, I believe.
I will point blank shot them.
Alright.
What I did. That's just 3 strikes.
3 strikes. Yeah, that would technically mean also 3 hits.
I push the gun. I push Bertha up until his belly, and then just press the trigger.
Okay, there's a brief moment where he's just what's the word? Just twitches a little bit, just and leans towards you, with a menacing face before he falls down. The other two can see as you pull the trigger a burst of blood from just exiting from his back.
I'm sure the stake goes right through.
Oh yeah, they don't even see where the stake landed. Afterwards you can see where it is embedded in the roof of the cavern, room where you are in.
Hmm. So I push him off me in a way.
Yeah.
And I finally, like, what seems like after ages, I just go.
That went well.
Uh,
So,
Also, thank you, Harlan. And
you're welcome. This is what I have studied for, after all.
I'll give Harlan 3 shares.
Oh, thank you. That is much appreciated.
I
put
pick up.
them-
I examine their weapons. Like
Good-
compared
good.
to dwarven weapons, how
They
good
are shit.
they're like absolutely.
They are
Primitive.
terrible.
They're like LARP swords.
Yeah, they're like it's like they found old weapons and are using them.
Okay.
One of them is actually carrying a dwarven sword, probably
Hey.
from the outpost where you were at.
All right. Does the sword look like it's been in use? Like,
Uh,
does it have a name on it? Any dwarven runes? I reckon.
there are dwarven runes added actually, and it has the insignia of Stone Reach. So it's suggesting again that it was taken from the outpost. It looks like it has seen recent use. It's not bloody, but it's like it's been recently sharpened, but then just like he's
Nicks
been
and scratches.
like he's been banging it at a rock for out of boredom or something.
I'm just like, what are these things? They don't know how to take care of equipment.
Nope. Well,
Well, they seem to be good at poison.
yes, and there seem to be more of them. We might want actually to head back now and report what we found.
I
idea.
think for the sake of like kind of the more stuff to report, I think we should take the sword back, two, a few of the examples of their weaponry,
And 1 corpse of them for further study.
Do you
and
want
I
to
just
carry
kind of
the
like
whole corpse?
I point to the one that I shot through the spine, and I'm like, maybe that guy.
Maybe a guy that isn't that as example that isn't that much damaged.
Yeah, but
this
his one is not burned, so that might be good.
I mean, he's missing a little bit of his spine, but apart from
Okay, yeah, okay. We'll take him with us.
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
we start moving backwards, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
You before you leave, you can make one final mind roll with senses.
I would like to see. I would like to smell. If I smell any dwarfs. If
That
that's possible.
That's
that
marvelous.
will not fit within your specialty.
But I will roll awareness.
1 strike.
Yes.
I'll roll it. Like, you can assist.
Ah,
You can-
sorry.
Yeah, you can all make a roll if you like, or one roll
Okay.
and one with assistance. Well, it is actually, you can all make the roll, since none of
Okay.
you are actively assisting. It's
One
not-
strike.
It's more of a passive thing than actually. Doing
This
anything.
roll is disgustingly good.
Oh, that's good.
5 strikes.
Holy
5
shit.
strikes. Okay.
Yep.
As you are picking up the body and as you are moving out from this whatever hole this is, you can hear screaming coming from the tunnels.
Is it
Drop the
drone
body.
screaming?
Uh,
Screaming?
it's painful screaming.
Well, well,
That
fuck. Now we have
suddenly ends.
Well, now we have to go save them.
Which way did it come from?
Difficult to tell. It's from
With 5 strikes?
with 5 strikes. You can hear that. Well, it sounds kind of like it's coming from the darker tunnel, but it's kind of also echoing from the tunnel that you met where you met the creatures.
Okay. Which way do we go?
The darker tunnel where the bloodstream leads and probably the stream came from.
Okay, let's go. Not being stealthy this time.
No, fast.
Fast.
Also, can we have another quick break before we do that? I mean, you can just keep going. Otherwise, I'll just Harley will just stay here.
Oh, let's take a short break.
Okay.
Second break. Okay, so you do have a choice of whether you want to go back in or if you want to return to Stonereach.
We go back
Really
and
don't.
hard and fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go down the darker tunnel, and as you rush in, you reach a room where there are bedrolls on the floor, laid out, several.
Okay.
Some of them seem to have, 2 of them at least, seem to have been just tossed away and not, well, tossed away to one side, away from another tunnel to your right that leads actually. If you look through, you can see light coming from there.
Mhm.
There's actually a tunnel to your left as well that also has light coming from it.
Where's the blood trail going?
It seems to be going to the left.
I think we
if-
should go to the left.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You head to the left, and there you can see, what looks like 2 guards that are expecting you.
Okay. I shoot them in the face.
I hit him with my crossbow. Right.
Okay. What, you hit them with your ball bearings?
No, I wait for Helen to hit the other with a spell.
Ah, okay.
I'm like the guy who's carrying Halen's spell components at the moment.
You're like his
You're like
squire.
Concord from Monty Python.
Yeah,
Come on, please, huh? It's like, yeah. Sweet.
Okay. Ed can make an attack roll, and Halen,
Okay.
if you would like,
Yeah,
if you want to blast them with your spell, you can do
Yes,
so.
yes, please.
Oh, 1 strike.
Ooh,
Mm,
that
Mm.
does not an evil creature kill.
But I do hurt him.
Well, yeah, he's hurt definitely. You shoot him in the leg, and he has
he took
like
an
a
arrow
large.
to the knee.
No, he took an enlarged
Big-
stone bullet in the knee. It actually
Stakes-
broke his
Stakes
knee.
are active.
Well, so his kneecap is destroyed.
Yes.
Oh
Definitely.
god. Am I like Dwarven John Wick?
Then-
Like
yes, you are.
kneecap,
You are
headshot.
now.
7 strikes.
Holy shit.
I'm starting to think I need them to reward overly many strikes.
Does that blow the doors off? If there are any doors?
He
Well,
huffs and
there
he
are
puffs.
he huffed and he puffed and he puffed the evil creature away. The how many shares did you spend on it?
Again, 2 again.
2. Okay, it seems to work, and it definitely kills the other one.
Oh.
It leaves a large hole on his chest right through, and it actually did shatter open a prison door behind him.
Yes.
That was
Young one, take
quite
the last
effective.
hit.
I run screaming with my dagger at the hurt one and try to stab him.
Yeah, he's just about to scream in pain as he realizes that he's probably never going to run the track again. And
Hey, don't get us emotionally invested in.
A 1 and a 6.
Yeah.
Another 6
Oh my god.
did you?
and a 5.
Okay.
3
How
strikes.
many dice did you roll?
I started with 2 and I rolled 4.
How much do you have in body?
2.
You still have 1 extra die for your equipment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgotten it all the time. Okay, still 2. 3 successes.
Yeah.
Oh my
3
god.
strikes.
I'm
As-
like, I wipe a single tear from my eye because the young one has now grown up.
Ah!
You jump at him, you push him down onto the floor, and you just stab him in the neck. He gargles and seems to mumble something, but it doesn't. It makes even less sense now that his throat has been cut open. And then he dies.
Okay.
You imagine he says something like, "I had such a bright future on the track."
He said something like, "It was only 2 days till track day."
I just gotten into Olympia.
I just got on scholarship. Yes. Anyway, indeed behind them there are 2 prison doors, and
Okay.
inside there are about 3 dwarfs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Since you're in front, young one, you should cut their bind.
That one door is open.
That
so-
one door is open, definitely, and they are not, in fact, bound. There are, however, they're not bound inside the cages.
Oh, okay.
It just seems to that the cages should have been enough to hold them back.
Are you well? Are you alright? Are you hurt?
We're fine. But they will be coming very soon, so we need to hurry out of here.
Is there anyone else around
They
of you?
they every now and then they come here, drag one of us down that tunnel, and he points towards another tunnel that you did that leads out of this room. So there's the tunnel that you came in, and then there's a tunnel leading another way.
Should
So
send them back with the body to the.
And there are
that's the,
several more. There were several more. They, I think they were injured or dead already when we got here, but they were not stored here.
I think they are dead too. I think they were using you as food.
It's possible.
So
Yeah,
they
that-
recognize us from the expeditioner. We have.
You
insignia
do
and stuff.
not recognize anyone as an
No,
expeditioner.
like they recognize
They
us.
recognize your uniform as expeditioners. They are actually wearing uniforms of the Stone Reach militia.
Okay.
Then
Let's get
Like
them
just-
out of here and
to Stone Reach and then come back with the might of the militia and the army and root out this evil.
I asked them if they're able to help us carry one body, preferably the one the young one is.
Which one?
Like if they can help carry one of the bodies out, like the
We
dead creatures.
we still have our dwarven strength. We can carry whatever you need.
Then we shall like depart.
let's move in
Okay.
the direction of back.
And quickly.
Quickly and quietly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
I stay to the rear of everybody just to see if anyone's coming from where we just made a loud explosion through.
I'm sorry.
Make
good
a
job.
mind roll with your senses.
All of us.
Everyone?
Just Ed, who is staying behind,
Ah,
in case
okay.
someone.
Can
is
I
following.
use my nose to smell these things? Nose
It
for
is.
trouble?
You are smelling for trouble.
Okay.
He has a nose for trouble.
So 4. Nice. Good. Good. That's 2 strike.
Okay. There is a foul smell coming from that tunnel that he said they were dragging dwarves towards.
Like rotting. Oh.
No, just like trouble. It smells like
Trouble.
and it's
I just
coming
kind
this way.
I immediately tell everybody to pick up the pace.
Okay, so you
Run,
you head
fly,
back.
you fools!
You reach the room where you found the bat rolls, and there's a tunnel to your right and forward, and now you notice a closed door to the left. Which way do you go?
We retrace our steps.
And which
Coming.
way did you come from?
I know, so tempting.
There's light sources coming from both ways.
Well, we know our way back because of the blood.
Yeah, we follow the blood trail back.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you do indeed find the way back. But if you had not thought of it, you could have gone the wrong way.
Yeah. And
No, I was
one
more
of-
like, there's a door, there might be things behind it. That's what-
And no one of us thought about dragging anything down with the tunnels, I presume.
Okay. For sake of speeding things up, you do find your way back, and you do manage to get the hell out of Dodge.
How far does the thing follow us? Does it follow us out of the hole?
Well, shortly after you reach the bat chamber, or where the bat rolls were, you can hear some shouting coming from the room behind you.
Mhm.
Someone is alerting the others of that something is definitely off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Balrog is coming.
Yeah. And let's say you are carrying one of their bodies with you.
Yeah, we have 2 helpers.
Yeah, you have people helping, so should be fine. You
So
should
I
have-
say to Hallen, can you destroy the rock above the hole when we exit?
Would I know if arcane blast would be useful for collapsing that tunnel?
maybe.
It's
It's a definite maybe.
I mean, I can try.
Okay. Can I say that I have we all have lanterns or something?
Yes,
Right.
you have something that works as a light source.
And I'm assuming that lantern takes some oil.
Yes. Also, there is burning oil in the where you entered the you remember where their
Yeah, yeah.
drawings are on the wall. So there's
I
there.
So I would like, since I have enough shares, I have plenty. I would like to spend 2 shares, one of which is like the oil bottle, and I will like knock over while going back, knock over the container with like throw the oil bottle on the ground and then knock over the container that has the wick in it,
Okay.
and like set a huge fire.
Okay. So you set a huge fire. Make a. Well, I have no idea. I don't think there's any skill for this.
Can I
So-
craft a Molotov cocktail? Like I would happily.
Not this quickly, no. But you can make a.
I have
I
dexterity.
think- Yeah, let's go with a body roll with dexterity edge, and you get 1 equipment bonus.
Okay. 4 plus. If I can. This. That's 3 strikes.
Okay. Let's say for the sake of. Okay, so for the sake of this, anyone who wants to try to cross the fire will have to make a roll against a mark of 3.
Okay.
They would have to match your strikes to cross over. And you do see one of those creatures rushing towards you from the caves. The other 3 dwarfs who are carrying that body are ahead of you, presumably, and you are in the back.
So are Helen and.
Okay, can I try
He-
to collapse the
he-
roof of the tunnel?
Not before he tries to jump over
Okay.
across the fire that Ed just made, and it. Oh, that's a definitely no.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, he crosses the fire.
Mhm.
However, unfortunately, he is also on fire. So, but looks like he is. Well, he screams in pain in the first part. However, he is still drawing a weapon and attacking you.
Can I do something quickly while he's coming out of the fire?
Depends on what.
I would like to take one of my shares and throw a bottle of my highly alcoholic disinfectant on him to strengthen the intensity of the fire.
I will. Let's make an initiative roll.
Okay.
All of you.
All right.
Oh, that's
That's normal.
That's terrible too for me.
Yeah.
12.
10.
13.
13, 12. How much?
10.
10. Okay. Good news. For the sake of simplicity, evil creatures, villains, and such just act after you. So if you, for example, he also rolled a 10. Hey,
Oh, okay.
but he goes last.
Okay, so
Uh,
enemies lose ties.
For now at least.
I will hold my action until Vigil is done.
Okay, Halen gets to go first.
Yes, I want to try with an 3-share arcane blast to collapse that tunnel.
We're not out of it.
Yes.
We are. You put a fire in it.
Did I?
You
I thought
Yes.
the room with the
you
oil.
put the fire in the room, not in
Oh.
the tunnel.
So it's the last tunnel we have to like kind of go to.
Okay, then I think I'll just hit the burning guy with my staff.
You're gonna hit him with your staff. Okay.
Yeah, I was assuming that the major staff can also be used as a quarterstaff.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's okay.
Well, it sounds reasonable. I mean, it's practical.
You have to use your body to hit it.
Yes.
Yep. Make a body roll with fight.
Yes.
And your equipment.
And
Yes.
your equipment.
Yes. So I'm rolling body and equipment.
Yep.
Do you just shove him back into the fire?
I'll try. What that is 2 strikes.
2 strikes.
2 strikes.
That counts as 1 hit. You do now see that he is more decorated than the others that you've been fighting.
Ah, okay. So, but I just whack him.
You just whack him over the head. Vigil.
I'll do that what we talked about.
Okay.
So
You do realize that. Well, okay. Halen is. Since he was using quarterstaff, I'll say that Halen is far enough so that he can jump out of the way just in time for
Thank
you
you.
to throw the alcoholic disinfectant. Infected.
and I miss.
You throw the alcohol into the fire behind the burning man, and you
There's an
hear this.
explosion.
You hear this shattering sound and a loud whoosh as the fire starts to burn brighter and hotter and spreads.
So does it increase the difficulty of people crossing the fire?
I'll say by 1.
I immediately say, let's get out of here, and I shoot the decorated guy wherever I can.
Go ahead.
Just shoot him.
Go ahead.
No. Nope. That's 1 strike. But does this hit?
No.
Can I use my last bullet to make it hit?
Yes.
I will use my last bullet to make it hit.
You've run out of bullets. Well, he's going to strike at Vigil.
He's not dead yet?
He's not dead yet.
Holy shit.
He's standing there on fire, taking his final breaths as he makes a final swing with his sword.
No. Is his sword shitty? Is it?
Vigil, no.
His sword
Not the
is
healer.
his sword is actually pretty decent looking.
Oh god.
It's one of the swords they took from the
dwarves?
dwarves. Yeah.
Dwarven engineering. Oh no, we're busted.
Dwarf. Oh yeah, it's actually it's a engineered sword. So not only does he stab him, he pushes a button and it shoots out. But no, he doesn't hit.
Thank you.
He swings wildly at you. His eyes are kind of burning, and he's in a lot of pain. And well, the sword swings just enough so that it grazes your beard,
No, not the beard.
and the heat from the sword singes a few beard strings.
Small loss. Put a healing
Small
cell. Let's run.
And then he crumbles down to the floor.
Okay, we run.
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 As far as the dwarven, exceptional dwarven legs can carry you.
Well, at the end, after we are out of the tunnel, I would stop for a moment
Okay.
to try to collapse it.
Okay. How
With
many
magic.
how many shares are you gonna use?
3.
3. All right.
Yes.
Alrighty. You need to. Are those the rest? Is it the rest of your shares?
Nope.
Oh, good.
I still have some.
Yeah, well,
I still
it
give him
doesn't.
some
It
too.
doesn't help afterwards.
I know.
All
That is
the shit.
4 strikes.
4 strikes. Very
Yes.
good. I'll say that yes, it is enough to collapse the tunnel.
Excellent.
Okay. We then make it back, I suppose. Safely.
Yes, you can make it back.
Okay.
Very good.
As we enter the city, I'm going to use my Donald Glover impression and just go, I'm too old for shit.
So I
2
have
days to
2.
retirement.
Yeah, I would have 2 left to get everybody up the.
Quick
Oh, I
drop.
have more. I
Oh.
can share more.
I
with
can
you.
share with you how many
Yeah,
do you
but,
need?
but well, I have 2 left. That should definitely give us enough time to get everybody up there, including the dead body.
That is definitely enough.
Okay.
And we
That's
still
what-
have the body, right?
Yeah, you still have the body.
That's what I was keeping these 2 back.
Okay, so when you bring it back, the Guildmaster Thoki would like to, well, he thanks you for the service, of course, and quickly would like the body of this strange creature to be examined.
The young one helped, so he should write the paper for it.
Of course.
If Vigil, if you are willing, I would love for you to assist in the examination.
Of course, we can do that.
Very good.
We never found out what the names of those 2 dwarves were. Were any of them Kevin?
There were 3. There were 3 dwarves actually.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, there were 4 stationed at the outpost,
And the runner.
Yeah, and then there was the mailman and the other expeditioners. The expeditioners were not there, so they're definitely dead. The mailman was not there. And let's make a simple D4 roll. If I roll a 1, Kevin is dead.
No.
It's a 4. So one of the 3 dwarfs is in fact two-legged Kevin.
Okay. Before giving the letters away, I take the letter from his mom and give it to him, and then I return the letter.
Thank you. And yeah, so that's about it.
Yay!
I had no idea how they would react to you actually returning, but because I wasn't actually expecting to.
Yeah, let's say
So,
they
just to be
can-
on the safe side, like, does my extremely powerful stake gun get into mass production?
They are definitely interested in your
Design.
design. Is very interesting, and it has proven to be very useful.
And again, this Spellslinger was again very useful in combat.
Yep. And I picked those spells beforehand, so it's
Yeah.
like those sounds useful. Okay, but I switched out actually before we when we started. I switched out telekinesis and heal,
Oh yeah.
so that was a last minute addition.
And maybe one thing, terminology.
Terminology.
Yeah.
That.
Hits and strikes can be confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe strikes and successes, or hits and successes, something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Like we all learned how to say just how many strikes we were.
Yeah.
So maybe successes would be better than
Yeah.
so people can just easily say successes. That's easy to see it.
Maybe. On the other hand, I figured probably used the term successes mostly because I'm more used to a game where that term is used.
Right.
Ranged weapons like the one I had sound a little bit OP at this point. I was keeping track of how many shots I fired, and it was like about 8 of them. So I think
Well, you only shot 8 bullets.
Yes.
Yes, but for example, in D&D you get 20 arrows.
20 bullets. Yes.
Mhm.
But like judging by the scenario and stuff, I don't know. I like the whole last bullet mechanic because if there were more fights after that, I'd be boned like pretty badly. I'd have to spend a lot of time to make more bullets.
So I had this area kind of mapped out. It's just it kind of looked like this.
Nice.
Cool.
Just so there are points and.
What did we miss?
So you came into the temple entrance. That's where the drawings were and stuff. They had the meeting hall where you saw those 3 guys. The 2 guys that came running were actually sleeping when you came in. So if you would have gone the other way towards the bedrolls, you would have seen them asleep in those bedrolls.
Wow.
From the meeting hall, you could enter the sleeping quarters where they were. Or you could enter the kitchen where you would have found some of your dwarven brethren. Or you could have
What was
gone.
behind the other door?
That's the storage room. So you would have found some stuff there. The chapel would have been from the meeting hall through. Was one more passage from the meeting hall that led to the chapel, and from the prison where you found those other dwarfs and the chapel, you could have gone to the main temple. In the chapel, however, you would have met the priest and 2 of those guys, like the one that you burned to death.
The decorated one.
The decorated one. Holy guards, as I called them.
What was the foul-smelling thing?
Just smell of danger.
Oh, just
Of
like
course,
nothing like-
the foul. On the other hand, there was a monster in the main temple.
A spider monster?
No, not a spider monster.
So-
More an leathery, tentacle-y thing.
Yay!
And we didn't get there.
No.
So
Next
Cthulhu.
So I have this system for adversaries, which is basically just threat. So like the guards were just threat 2. So that means they had 2 dice for all their actions. Even they did not get equipment bonuses or anything. That just was included. And any action against them would be made at a difficulty equal or mark equal to half their threat.
Nice.
Which is why they had armor 1. The burning guy had a threat of 4. As did the priest. And
Right.
the monster that you didn't fight had a threat of 8.
Oh, boy. Well,
So
it's
that
a good thing we're coming back with the army.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Of course, you collapse the tunnel now, and they
Yeah.
need to
Well,
dig down.
they probably ask some expeditioners in a short time to find more about this upcoming threat.
Oh, definitely. Of
They seem
course,
organized at least.
well, you killed everyone except the priest and one of the holy guards. That
True.
and the monster. Those 3 were the only thing left. You killed everything else.
Technically, we thought that they just kept coming. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm telling you now that there were only 2 of them left and 1 evil godly monster.
yeah. What was the troll like last time when we fought the troll? What threat level was that?
6.
6. Okay. So enough fire could probably do stuff.
Oh,
Fire
definitely.
P.
So Hanno,
Fire is really OP.
So Hanno, what do you think about this game as
I
a
like it.
first-time player?
I like it. It's easy. It's challenging. Definitely keep going with it.
Yay.
There are some language things in the rules, but that doesn't have to do anything with gameplay.
Like?
Well, there are some things that might be just a bit clearer.
Yeah, sure.
It's mostly little stuff, but just to make like for example, when I ask is the first dot in each trade free or not, which is answered later, but
Yeah.
that's
We
mostly
had
just semantics.
there are several things that need clarification, and in fact there are a lot of things that I clarified since the last playtest, so yeah, more clarification.
But this is just for the playtest, right? Do you actually have another document that you're making?
I have no other document. I'm working from this document to start with and then moving it on to a bigger document.
One
clarification.
suggestion
Okay.
in the chapter for the character creation.
Yep.
Step 2, choose your role. It would be better just for the layout and character generation if the abilities and the stuff the role gets stands already in step 2 and not late after the equipment.
Yeah.
I think adding on to that suggestion, I think like a visual kind of flowchart of how it goes would be much better with like boxes for individual classes and stuff like that. So it starts with the ability points, then splits out into like classes. So if you have a visual like that with all the information in different boxes, it kind of makes it easier to just parse the information.
I may be a little bit too tired to understand what you're talking about, but okay.
Like a visual representation, like a table of sorts, or like a flowchart, essentially. How to make a character.
Yeah, it's a thought. Still playtesting. Visuals come later. On the other hand, about what you said about ranged weapons being OP, I'm going to disagree with it because of how distance is really not an issue, and you can just keep on shooting, which is pretty.
I felt like I was like pretty like good at it. Like it was very effective. Apart from like Hanno's amazing spell.
Yeah, but let's see.
You have the same role with a sword.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's just linguistics. If it's a range attack or melee attack, a bow or an axe, or a spell, it always depends on the equipment and your specialities
and description.
Yeah.
I'm just biased.
And I mean that spell was just. I mean, I could just keep using it because we had quite a lot of shares.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of shares.
I mean, we started with a lot, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
And then, well, scavenging is what you're supposed to do, but we were also pretty
Yeah.
damn successful. So
Yeah.
Now I'm just very invested in all the characters. Now I like want this to continue.
Yeah.
I would try a warrior next time.
Yeah. We haven't tried.
Warrior's
I don't
fun.
think. I don't think there's ever been a warrior in this
Not yet.
game. Not a skald either.
okay,
And
well,
I would
I have a warrior right here.
Yeah.
That was my backup.
We've had mage, guide, burglar, and healer. And
I want to try Scald next, but
What else are you missing then?
there are 6 roles: warrior, mage, guide, burglar, healer, and skald.
Okay,
So it's just warrior and skald that's never been played.
right. Well, then
burglar as well.
then I would
Hmm.
then I would try a burglar next time. If Andreas wants to be a warrior.
I think
Yeah.
Siras, you played a healer last time.
I played a healer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Andreas was playing a mage, and Leslie played a burglar.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, but
Wow.
you changed the mechanics for the burglar since.
I changed the
okay.
mechanics for everyone except the mage since last time.
Okay.
I added bonuses to all the rolls that weren't before.
Right. Are you considering a progression system for characters?
Yes.
Okay.
So far, our successful mission, which is basically any mission that you come alive from, allows you to increase 1 trait
Mm-hmm.
or learn a new skill
Mm-hmm.
or learn a new specialty in a skill.
Okay. Nice.
That's about it.
Okay.
No, I think that's
if it's
that's
a
good.
very very tough mission or long one, you could maybe increase 2 things.
Okay.
You can't get a new edge in any of the traits. It's just
Makes sense.
not available.
Yeah, that works.
That's
And does the maximum dice per like body, mind, and sense still apply, or is that just a
it
character?
still applies.
Still applies? So you can't have more than 5.
You can't
Yeah.
have more than 5.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Which is fair.
I see that.
At least.
Because you also don't want too big
You'll
of a
end up
dice
with, like, a
pool,
1
because
Yes, because then you'd end up with what, 7 strikes?
yeah,
Yeah.
or
Five,
the
six,
curse of the
7,
large
8.
Yeah, yeah.
So the maximum dice pool would be 8 with an 8 and 10.
Yeah.
Dice pool of 10 with 8 aiding.
Yeah.
5, 6
That's 5. Yeah.
plus equipment.
Skill, specialty, equipment,
And aiding.
and aiding from an ally with the ally
Yes.
room. So that
Yeah.
the maximum you can get is 10.
Which is a nice number for that.
Yes, it is. It is.
That works.
Yes.
So
The
that-
alliance rule is pretty.
Yeah, it is very useful. Of course, it also applies. Remember that he gets a mage gets to cast a spell at a mark 2
Yeah.
when his ally is a target.
Yeah.
That
So
also
heal
that heal or arcane blast also applies.
Yes. Yes.
So,
that is true.
I-
And when we find something that has the command spell, that can get very interesting.
Yeah.
Does that? So Hannah, when you made it, you chose those 2 runes as your.
Yes. Well, I was figured we it was a bit of metagaming, but
No.
Yeah.
also because the mage starts with 2 prepared runes.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
technically for the ally runes to work, the mage would need to have 1 as well.
Mm.
Okay.
but still, it's you would probably have enough material to make one before leaving.
And he was probably thinking, I've never had friends before, so.
Also, I like the idea of trying out the ally rune, so I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
But I think like considering the world, since we are all expeditioners, there would always be that case where you would want to, that you're going to be in some kind of a team, and
Yeah.
you would craft that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If possible, yes.
I'm not sure if the ally rune would probably be in dwarf specific, so that or individual specific.
Oh, so
that
if
you
one
would
of
have
them
to
dies-
craft it specifically for this
Yeah.
guy and
Right.
that guy, so you can't just throw it at an enemy and then Arcane Blast.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. I think, or you could just.
You're just like hold
Put-
this, and then
Or you could just put a willing in there.
Yes.
Like D&D does.
Like, they
for
have
some
to
stuff.
So maybe.
Yes, they
They
have
have
to
to-
accept it. In
like they have to say I accept.
in trust. Yeah.
Yeah, it's small ritual. Do you want to be my ally?
Are we
cross
friends now?
yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You've forgotten the maybe.
Well, that
Oh.
would work.
Or the edgy
and
anti-hero
then
types.
someone adds a new option. Never in the 9 hells.
Well,
Then it becomes a rune of bane, where it curses whoever touches.
And my wife actually came with a very nice idea for renaming the lower levels of the underworld or underground, the Nether Realms. Oh no, sorry, not the Nether Realms, the Nether Regions. I should get that right.
well.
Well,
So it is
know.
the Nether Regions and the Upper Regions, and so
The above.
above ground, and then there are stories of what is below the Nether Regions, which is the Abyss.
the ankle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Ankle,
I'm very interested in
Nether
the world.
Regions, torso, head.
How far have you been? I've been to the belly button. The belly button of darkness.
So it's an innie.
man.
Yes.
I feel like the world building is like the fun part. Like the whole idea
Yes.
of like this slowly kind of these playtests are slowly building locations.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Lost El Gorge,
Oh. Smuggler's hidey hole.
Smuggler's Hidey Hole. So yeah, explore. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording now.
Mhm.
So before
Good
we
Okay, we
all
were
fall asleep.
still recording. Okay.
Yay! Well, it's not as much fun as last time's Snappy's adventures, but still. Okay.
That was an evil thing of you to do.
Okay. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.